a system built to stop aircraft, used instead against artillery. That's the core of the latest battlefield development emerging from the Kharkiv region. Recent reports indicate that 2 missiles from Russia's S-400 Triumph were launched toward a target identified as a Ukrainian HIMARS position. The circulating footage does not clearly show the American-made launcher itself. Instead, what appears visible is a prepared and possibly fortified site, equipment staged undercover, suggesting a temporary operating location. Then, 2 impacts land on the exact same point. According to multiple accounts, the engagement involved the S-400, traditionally known as a high-end long-range air defense interceptor, being used in a ground attack role. While this may sound unusual, it is not entirely unprecedented. The S-300 and S-400 families have long retained a limited ability to engage ground coordinates. It is simply not their primary mission. So what does this incident really tell us? And more importantly, what does it reveal about the evolving trajectory of the war, especially as Ukraine looks toward 2026 amid shifting military aid dynamics and growing uncertainty? Let's take a closer look. Reports describe a precise engagement. 2 S-400 missiles launched toward a single target in the Kharkiv region. The American-supplied M142 HIMARS launcher itself is not clearly visible in the footage, but analysts point to the presence of what appears to be a fortified Ukrainian position. Both missiles reportedly impacted the same location. Now here's the key detail. The S-300 and S-400 systems can strike ground targets. This capability has existed for years. However, it is rarely used because these systems are optimized for intercepting aircraft, cruise missiles, and ballistic threats, not engaging land-based equipment. Using such high-value interceptors against a ground target suggests one of 2 possibilities. First, Russia may have identified what it considered a high-priority asset. HIMARS remains one of Ukraine's most symbolically and operationally significant systems. Second, the engagement window may have been brief, requiring immediate action from whatever system was already in position and ready to fire. HIMARS, after all, is built around mobility. It can fire and relocate rapidly, reducing the time it remains exposed. That mobility has made it difficult to track consistently, but this is not the first time reports have emerged of HIMARS units being neutralized. Since its introduction into the conflict, HIMARS has often been described as a game-changer. The system brought precision, speed, and extended range to Ukraine's artillery capabilities. Yet over time, Russian forces have adapted. In previous incidents, Russian sources reported HIMARS launchers being targeted not only by advanced systems, but even by older platforms such as the S-300 operating in a ground strike mode. That detail matters. Early in the conflict, HIMARS was frequently portrayed as nearly untouchable. Its ability to launch guided rockets and relocate quickly complicated counter-battery efforts. When paired with GMLRS munitions, the system can engage targets at ranges exceeding 70 kilometers with high precision. However, survivability depends on more than mobility. As reconnaissance drones, electronic warfare capabilities, and satellite-based tracking improved, the battlefield became increasingly transparent. Detection cycles shortened. Reaction times improved. Now consider the S-400 itself. Known in NATO reporting as the SA-21 Growler, the S-400 has reportedly undergone modernization efforts in 2025 and 2026, drawing on combat lessons from Ukraine. Developed by Almaz-Antey, the system was originally designed to engage aircraft, cruise missiles, and certain ballistic threats at long ranges. Recent reporting from Russian sources suggests enhancements in several areas. Those are improved radar fusion designed to better detect low observable drones and resist jamming. Expanded network integration, linking the system with airborne early warning aircraft and ground-based sensors for faster reaction times. Increased mobility features allowing quicker repositioning after firing. possible software and missile updates, including variants associated with extended-range interceptors like the 40N6 family. If accurate, these upgrades would enhance the system's flexibility, not only in air defense, but potentially in secondary roles such as ground targeting when necessary. Beyond the tactical exchange, the broader political context is equally significant. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky recently stated that there are few signs Russia intends to halt its campaign. According to reporting from Ukrainian outlets, he emphasized that Moscow continues to pursue its objectives without clear signals of de-escalation. While incidents like the S-400 engagement generate headlines, the long-term trajectory of the conflict increasingly depends on industrial capacity and sustained external support. And that brings us to 2026. Ukraine has indicated that it may require approximately $120 billion in defense-related funding this year alone, yet the structure of that support is changing. Under President Donald Trump, the United States FY 2026 defense budget reportedly allocates around $400 million through the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, significantly lower than earlier multi-billion-dollar packages. The emphasis has shifted toward arms sales to NATO partners rather than direct large-scale transfers. European support, meanwhile, appears to be expanding. Germany has outlined multi-year aid commitments totaling billions of euros, including support for air defense, drones, and artillery systems. The European Union has discussed broader funding mechanisms extending into 2026 to 2027. Sweden has also announced additional packages focusing on air defense and unmanned systems. NATO initiatives launched in 2025 aim to pool funding among member states to procure ready stockpiles, particularly in air defense munitions. European military contributions reportedly rose sharply compared to earlier war averages, partially offsetting reductions elsewhere. If HIMARS units are increasingly vulnerable to rapid counter-detection, Ukraine's ability to sustain precision fires may hinge on replenishment rates and diversified supply lines. At the same time, if systems like the S-400 are being adapted beyond their traditional roles, it reflects a broader pattern. Both sides are stretching existing platforms to fill operational gaps. Nowadays, the war is entering a phase where flexibility, industrial, technological, and political, may matter more than any single weapon system. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.